Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you're having a wonderful day. In today's pick a card reading, we're going to find out who is your future spouse. So, as you can see for this reading, we have three piles here to choose from. Now, you can select your pile according to the card or the ring that you're feeling most intuitively drawn towards. For pile number one, we have the star card with the lapis lazuli ring. For pile number two, we have the Two of Cups with the opal ring, and for pile number three, we have the Ace of Cups with the amethyst ring. So you can take some time to find the pile you're feeling most intuitively drawn towards. And once you've selected your pile, the timestamps for all the readings will be listed down below in the description box so that you can skip ahead to your personal reading. As always, know that this is a general reading. Everything that I say may or may not resonate with you. Please take only what resonates with you and what speaks to you and leave the rest. And yeah, let's get into our reading. Hello, my dearest pile number one. Welcome to your reading. If you have selected the star card or the lapis lazuli ring, then this is your reading about who is your future spouse. So, wow, you selected the star. Okay, I'm receiving a very magical sort of vibe. At the same time, the star is about hope and healing. And I feel like, this person is going to enter your life as a beacon of light, as a beacon of hope. Maybe it's going to be a time for you when you're going through something very difficult in your life. Perhaps you are ending a cycle, or you're ending something, that is not very easy for you to bear. And I feel like that is when your path is going to cross with this person. Yes, there is an energy of destiny that I see, things unfolding in a very serendipitous sort of a way. That is something I see here. Okay. Now what we're gonna do, first we're gonna pull out your cards and we're just going to see who is your future spouse at their very core. Like, who is this person? Yes, let me get out your cards first. Spirit guides, please do tell us something about pile number one's future spouse. Who is pile number one's future spouse? Okay. Nafs, this is the devil card. And oh my goodness, yes, you have the wheel of fortune. And I was receiving that energy of fate and destiny. Yes. Yes, this person is going to enter your life like the fate, you know. It's going to be a time where the wheels have started to shift in your favor. Yes, this person is going to change your life in the most magical way. Let's get some more cards. Who is your future spouse? Mercury with Mars. Okay, that's a very powerful combination. Something about their mind. This is a very intelligent person. Yes. Someone who is an innovator, you know? Let's get one more card. We have all the three major arcanas, so yes, very powerful energies that I'm seeing. Taurus with cultivate. I love Taurus people. They're really sweet and hardworking and loyal. Like, this is someone who is very dependable, you can trust this person at any time. And Also, this card is giving me like the King of Pentacles energy, someone who is going to build their empire, someone who is going to start something from scratch and take it all the way to the top. Yes, I'm receiving very entrepreneur kind of energy here, a business minded person, someone who's very good with money and any decisions that are related to their career, finances. Your person is very discerning. That is what I'm seeing. Okay, let's start from the beginning. So, who is your future spouse? Now, let's start here with the Star and the Devil card. Now, the devil doesn't always have to be negative. Every card tells a story, and every card has both positive and negative meanings. With the devil, I'm seeing like your future spouse is someone who's very ambitious. Like when they want to accomplish something, no matter how impossible it appears to be and how difficult the task is, the goal is, your future spouse is someone who's always going to find a way. This person is capable, like literally capable of shifting destiny. Yes, this person, is like they're not someone who just always lets fate control everything. No, this person becomes the fate. They become the destiny. They become the change, you know? And yes, I'm seeing like this is someone who's very ingenious, very smart, very passionate, very powerful. Like with all the major arcanas, this person is not someone ordinary or not someone who stays in the background. They're going to be very famous in their life, very someone who stays in the spotlight, whether directly or indirectly. Like maybe they don't, like they do something that is not directly related with fame, but just their name is like everyone is going to know it. Everyone is going to know your person. That is who they are. They have a very healing energy. With the Star, I see that your future spouse is someone who brings light into other people's life. They carry this sense of hope, and I feel like somewhere they have seen the dark side of life. With the devil, maybe they have experienced like addictions or some toxic relationships in their life. Like with the, if you can see the chains, maybe they were bound by something in their life, in their past. But if you notice, we have a door here. So by the time you're going to meet your future spouse, this person has reached the other side of this toxicity. Whatever this dark phase was, they have worked very hard to improve themselves and to bring themselves, out of these chains. Yes, they have liberated themselves and they've changed their story. Somewhere I also see this person is going to create a huge impact in the society. Like this is someone who creates an example. People look up to them. They inspire others. They have a bigger role to play in society. Yes, that is what I'm seeing. Taurus, and like this is the energy of abundance and prosperity. As I was saying that it's reminding me of the King of Pentacles. So your person is very good with money, and they know how to create abundance like from scratch. Your person is someone who can work with what they already have, and they can generate something beautiful out of it. They can create something beautiful with whatever they have. They don't always need something else to complete things. Yes, your person is very resourceful and they're very smart with their decisions, with their energy, with like where to invest their money, their time. So yes, I see someone who's, and also at the same time the Taurus is giving me like your person is very dedicated to their career, to their relationships. and even like to their self, like to improving themselves. This person always strives to become a better version of themselves. And again, they're never going to let the external factors to hold them back in life. Again, I see your person is capable of rewriting their story, of changing their stars. You cannot say this to your person like, yes, maybe this is how things are going to be, this is what is your fate. No, they will not accept it. You know, as much as they can do, your person will always strive to change the circumstances, to change whatever is kind of restricting them in their life. The Mercury and Mars, I'm seeing a sense of illumination. This person is very awakened, you know, like just look at the fire that is coming out, you know. And I feel like the brain cells are very open. I don't know what this means, but like, um, yes, they have a very unique way of looking at things, you know. They have a very unique perspective. And also, there's a lot of fire and passion that I see in your person. I see that with Mercury, your person will know how to communicate or how to transform that passion into something meaningful and into something that has a big purpose behind it. Yes, your person is also very good in communication, or especially when it comes to like articulating their thoughts. This person is just wow. Like they could be a public speaker or someone who, yes, who gives these speeches and who inspires others. Maybe they motivate others, you know. They could be they they could create some kind of content that is very empowering. That is also a message that I'm receiving. But yes, at their very core, your future spouse is someone who is very ambitious, very passionate, very loyal, and dedicated to whatever they do in their life. Like your person, you know, doesn't take things lightly. And this goes with everything. Again, this goes with their career, this goes with their finances, with their relationships, with even, as I said, you know, with their self. Like they do not, they're very, I see like this person is very disciplined, you know. And again, they always try to create these healthy boundaries, healthy habits. They try to have this routine where they're taking care of themselves, and at the same time, you know, they're being able to do their best, give their best to their work, to their relationships. So yes, they are an all-rounder. That's the kind of energy I'm seeing. And wherever your person goes, they bring some kind of a big shift with them. Like people can recognize this energy. Initially, people may feel very intimidated by your future spouse because, again, this person has a very empowering energy. They're not someone you can just, they're not someone who will just going to blend in the background and you won't notice this person. No, they even like they don't do something on purpose to come into the spotlight. No, just their aura is naturally like that. You know, some people that you cannot forget, you cannot help but notice and recognize, and just you get curious to know about them. That is who your future spouse is. Yes, they have dealt with some difficult things in their life, but they know how to make it to the other side. They will not let their past define their whole life or define their whole personality. Yes. Again, with the star, it tells me that your person has a bigger purpose in this lifetime, you know, and no matter how difficult it is, but they are going to fulfill their responsibilities. They're going to fulfill their purpose in a very powerful or revolutionary, that's the word that is coming to my mind, revolutionary kind of a way. Yes, they could invent something new because, as I said, you know, with Mercury and Mars, I see someone who's very ingenious, someone who has these unique ideas. Their mind is always on fire. They're always thinking something. They're always, I also see like your person is someone who receives a lot of psychic downloads, but they know how to forward these things, how to communicate these things, or how to articulate these ideas. Yes. Okay, yes, I'm seeing a very powerful personality. And the most beautiful thing about them is that they are very trustworthy. You know, yes, you may feel a bit intimidated initially by them, or even a bit scared, because again, I see this person carrying this energy of revolution, of change. So not many people might feel comfortable with their energy, with their presence, but whatever change or shift they bring, it's necessary, it's meant to be. Yes. But yes, for people who know them, they can just trust them blindly. um, yes, they can depend on them. They can, no matter what happens, this person will always have your back. That is what I am seeing. And also, this person is going to bring a lot of luck into your life. With Taurus, I do see that energy of divine luck, divine favor. So, yes, that's what I'm seeing. Now, let's see what's their overall personality. What is the overall personality of your future spouse? Your person has worked on their shadow self and they've healed themselves. Yes. Let's see what is the overall personality of your future spouse. Five of Swords. Someone who always tells the truth. And truth is not always comfortable. Yes. This person is also someone who takes stand, even if they have to fight against their own people, but they're going to stand by the truth, by the one who is honest. Yes. They've dealt with a lot of conflicts in their life. That is also something I see, with a lot of arguments, family disputes, something like that. Yes. We have Knight of Swords. And we have Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Again, this is the energy of abundance, of someone who knows how to bring things together, bring people together, someone who can resolve the issues, the conflicts, someone who can solve the problem, someone who is very gentle, when it, especially when it comes to their relationships. Yes, they know how to make their people happy. That is what I see with this card. Queen of Pentacles also tells me that your person is, again, they're very resourceful, and especially when it comes to their family, they know how to make the foundation of their family strong. They know how to create that energy of peace and harmony in their life. And I was saying, like, maybe it's because they have seen a lot of fights and arguments between their parents, between their siblings, and they've seen a lot of arguments happen between their loved ones, and it was just heartbreaking. So growing up, they've wanted to have their own family, and they'll always make sure that the most important thing that they can do for their family is give them that sense of peace. So that's a message I'm receiving. The Knight of Swords is telling me that your person is very straightforward, and again, whatever they do, it's like a bang. They don't do things silently or quietly. It's It's like a thunderstorm. It's like a lightning. It's 11:11 as I'm saying this message. So again, it's that energy of destiny and fate, having its hand in. Yes, this person is a powerhouse. They are someone who is very they like even the small things that they do, they they create a huge impact. And it's something like I'm seeing like a ripple effect, yes, it creates a huge impact in other people's life at some point, whatever they say, they do, it's it goes beyond the norms. That is what I'm seeing. Also, with the Knight of Swords, I feel like your person is very, they're very quick in decision making as well, they they don't overthink a lot. That is what I'm seeing. They just quickly make the decision, do the thing, they're very action oriented. This person is not going to just sit down and think about things, they'll just do it. Sometimes they might regret, something they have said, something they have done, because sometimes they can be very impulsive. So, and it's most of the times, it's like they make the right decisions, but once in a while it could go wrong. I Your person is very clear about what they want in their life, and like their life goals, their life vision, they're very particular about stuff. And yes, this is someone who makes things happen. I feel like your person has different personalities when it comes to their home life and when it comes to their work life. At work, your person is like very confident, very much. They have a leader like quality. They're not going to take a no from anyone, or yes, they're very strict. But when it comes to their home life or their family or their loved ones, they have a very nurturing and mother like energy. They're very forgiving, they're very kind, they're very compassionate, they're very like, for the overall good, if they have to sacrifice or they have to compromise, then this person is not going to think twice. Yes, that is what I am seeing. For their loved ones, they can do anything. In that case, they don't have like many boundaries. They just, for the people whom they love, they can go above and beyond. That is what I'm seeing. Again, with the Five of Swords, I feel like this person, like, others have hurt them a lot with their words, especially with their like opinions about them, or yes, this person has never had any strong support in their life. They have felt very lonely, very isolated. So again, they want to, in their life and their family, they want to create an environment where people can come to them, their loved ones, their future spouse, their children, their parents, their siblings. They could come to them and find a sense of comfort. That is what their goal is. That is what your person is trying to become in their life. Yes, that is why I was receiving this energy of someone who's very, very loyal and trustworthy. Knight of Swords, I'm also seeing like your person is, like their body language is very quick, their actions are very quick. Maybe they speak very quickly, they communicate things very quickly, and they can articulate their thoughts very quickly. So, yes, there's a sense of speed or momentum that I see with your person. This is not someone who's very slow and relaxed. Yes. The overall personality that I'm seeing for this person is like, from outside, they're very strict, very disciplined, very leader, very much like they're always on the go. They're yes, they can be also sometimes very intimidating. They'll just tell you things straightforwardly, they don't go round and round about things. But on the inside, this person is very soft, very gentle, very sensitive. Yes, and this side, their loved ones get to see, like people who are very close to them, they get to see this Queen of Pentacles energy of them. But for others, they are just they're also very introvert, so they're not going to like be very social unless and until it's very necessary, and it's just like they're just going to talk business or the stuff that is necessary. Yes, but again, even if they like stand in the background or in the corner, their energy is so powerful. Like, yes, people will notice them, even if they don't speak to anyone or they don't do anything, but they will come into notice. That is what I'm seeing here. Yes. Now, let's find out something about their physical appearance. Let's see something about your future spouse's physical appearance. There's a perfect balance that I see of the feminine and the masculine energy, the yin and yang, the light and dark. Yes. And like they were not always like this, but I feel like from their experiences, they have learned how to balance everything or how to integrate everything. Yes. Let's find out something about your future spouse's physical appearance. Queen of Cups. Wow. Very charming, very beautiful. They have this person has beautiful eyes, and even their voice is very soothing. Yes. Wow. Queen of Cups is someone very, very beautiful, you know? So, even if they are a male, like this is someone, you know, who doesn't have a lot of beard on their face, or yes, that their skin, their hair is just beautiful. Like if you see this person, the only word that's going to come to your mind is, oh, how beautiful they are. That is what I'm seeing. And with the Queen of Cups, it's like how beautiful they are from the outside. From inside, they're even more charming. Like their heart is so pure, so innocent, you know? Yes. This is someone who is very beautiful inside out. That is what I see with the Queen of Cups. Their features are very, like, almost perfect, you know? Their eyes, their nose, their lips. They could have a fair complexion. Ten of Pentacles. Wow. Ten of Pentacles is telling me like, again, like everything is so perfectly aligned. You know, their height, their weight, their features. Yes, that's why I was receiving this energy of like someone who's very beautiful, you know? With Ten of Pentacles, I'm also seeing like this person has the way they dress up, it's very elegant, and they like to wear things that are timeless, that are like quiet luxury is kind of their aesthetic, and they like to invest in pieces that are vintage, that are timeless, and that are just classic. That is what I'm seeing. Yes, minimal elegance. That's also something I see here. They could love to wear jewelry, especially like gold jewelry. They could have some molds on their face, like maybe on their lips or nose. Yes. Tower. Okay. Wow. This is so powerful. They could have some scars. Maybe like something like a burn scar or an accident maybe they've had in their past, something like this. Or maybe like a specific birthmark. Yes, that's what this card is telling me. They have a specific scar on their face or on their arm. Yes, that's what I'm receiving with this Tower card. Something that you can see, it's not hidden. It's like you can see this right away when you see your person for the first time. You can see their scar, but it's like your person carries their scars. Like, sorry, my camera cut off, but yes, I was saying like your person wears their scars as adornments. They, even though they have these scars, but they make them more beautiful, more unique, and they have never let these scars to lose their confidence, to affect their image. Yes, it's their scars that make them more beautiful, and it's a sign. It's, for them at least, it's a sign that they've survived the worst. Yes, that's also a message that I'm receiving here. Yes. Okay, that's what I'm seeing. Now, let's see what else we have. What else you need to know about your future spouse? The fire starter. Oh my goodness. Yes. And this is like so similar with the Mercury and Mars energy. And even the Knight of Swords. It's the Knight of Wands kind of energy because we have the fire element, but then again, it's like that speed, that fire, that passion they have within them. Bold, brave, a bit chaotic. Yes, I was receiving this energy. But you're unstoppable. Charge ahead with passion. Even if you stumble, the ride will shape your story. Yes. Again, if your person wants to do something, they're not going to sit and relax and think about it like a gazillion times. They will just take action. And along the way, they're going to figure out things for themselves. And they don't care whether they fail or they succeed, but it's the experience that is more valuable to them, that is more important. And it's, yes, it's that experience, that in between period, that process, which has shaped them and where they get to learn so much. The fire starter, there's someone, again, this is someone who takes the initiative. They invent things. Yes, they take that first step. They're bold and brave and courageous. That is what I'm seeing. This person is going to bring a lot of like new theories or philosophies or something new into this world that maybe later on people are going to do more research or take those things forward. But yes, your person is the one who is the initiator of those things, or the creator. Oh my, okay, that's a lot. We're going to shuffle once again, but if you want to see the cards, then we have strength, flow, and miracles. This is the star card energy once again. I just want one card, so we're going to shuffle it again. Let's see who is your future spouse. What else you need to know? We have power with dinosaur. Yes, we have seen this message come up so many times, so I'm not surprised. Yes, again, the dinosaurs, like your person, they you cannot ignore them. They cannot just hide in the background. People are going to notice them. They are recognizable. They are, yes, they just, their overall energy or the aura, it's so powerful, so intimidating, so revolutionary. Again, this is the word that is coming to my mind. This person just roars, yes. Okay, let's receive a final card. Who is your future spouse? They're very, very courageous, very strong. Yes, they're not afraid of anything. Like, I see someone who's just unstoppable, unafraid, you cannot stop this person from doing something that they're very adamant about. And again, This is someone who has the power to shift their destiny. Yes. Oh my goodness. Okay. I mean, how many times Spirit wants to tell us the same message? Empowerment. This is like the main essence of your future spouse. Expansion, together, prosper, divine. You know, this is reminding me of something I read, that the universe surrenders in front of someone who has a courageous heart. And that is what I see. Like, that's your future spouse. They have a lot of courage in their heart, you know. And yes, they're not afraid of anything. And that's the reason why the wheels shift in their favor, why uh, the universe surrenders in front of them. Yes, lots of fire and passion your person has within them, and they're here to do something big, something powerful, something that's going to create a change in the society. That is what I'm seeing. The sunflowers, it's the energy of full bloom, you know, someone who is, again, someone who's very emotionally mature, awakened. They have a very spiritual, they have a lot of spiritual knowledge. They they have a higher consciousness, you know. They understand things on a much deeper level. There's a sense of completion that I see in your person. Yes, they've learned how to balance everything, how to integrate everything, all their experiences, their learnings. Yes. And they, with the divine here, and I was seeing this with the Wheel of Fortune card as well, you know, this person is touched by God's hand. The reason why this person makes these big things happen, because the universe always has their back. Yes. They have a lot of divine support by them. That is what I'm seeing. Okay, so this is what I have for you, my dear pal number one. I hope this reading resonated with you and provided you with some guidance or any answers that you were looking for. If it did, please do like this video and subscribe my channel. Once again, thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a magical rest of your day, and I will see you in my next reading. Bye. Hello, my dearest pal number two. Welcome to your reading. If you selected the Two of Cups or the Opal Ring, then this is your reading about who is your future spouse. So, Two of Cups. Very lovey-dovey kind of energy that I'm seeing here. Someone who always prioritizes their relationships. Yes. Like their loved ones, you know, for them, they come above all. Two of Cups is also telling me that your future spouse is someone who has a very soft heart. You know, they're very gentle, very kind, very compassionate, very understanding. Yes. Okay, let's get all of your cards first. Just a sec. I think there's a hair here. Okay, apologize for that. Okay, let's get your cards first, and then we're going to see who is your future spouse at the very core. Who is this person? Spirit guides, please tell us something about pile number two's future spouse. Who is pile number two's future spouse? Nine of Cups. Again, we have the Cups card and Ace of Wands. Okay. Nine of Cups is a beautiful card because it's about wish fulfillment, you know. Let's get a few oracle cards as well. Who is your future spouse? Mars and Uranus. Okay, this is such a similar energy with the Ace of Wands. Someone who's just ready to take off, you know? Lots of energy I see in this person. Mars and Uranus. For pile number one, there was Mars and Mercury. Even, yes, this is also a very powerful energy. Uranus is like change, sudden changes, revolutions, you know, innovations. Okay, let's get one more card. Lord Hanumanji is coming through. I don't know if they are a devotee of Lord Hanumanji or if you are. Okay. We have first house, arrival. Okay. The first house is about your public image. This person could be very famous. They could be in the public eye. They could be an actor, actress, singer, composer, artist, writer, content creator, something like this that I'm seeing. Someone who has a lot of followers or subscribers. Yes. Okay. Yes, the first house is telling me that they have to be very specific and very mindful of their public image and how they talk or they present themselves in front of others. That is what I'm seeing. You know, the Nine of Cups is also telling me that, like, your person, you know, as I was saying, they could have a lot of fans and subscribers or followers, and like people have this dream, you know, to meet your person or to have their autograph. Yes, I'm very strongly receiving an energy of someone who is a celebrity here. But this person is someone who's very down to earth. Despite the name and the fame and everything they have earned in their life, they're very grounded and they're very in touch with their roots and like with who they are at their very core. This person has not let, or they will not let the external success to change them, to change their personality. Yes, I see nothing like ego in them, you know. They're very kind, they're very compassionate, and in fact, the bigger this person gets, the more successful they become, the more humble they're going to be. That is the kind of energy that I see for your person. I feel like being into the fame or into the spotlight is their destiny. Yes. They, no matter what work they're going to do, but they will be recognized for it. People are going to, um, people are going to love them, you know, for their work and even like your person's interaction with others, like the way they interact with their fans or with people, it's very loving, you know, it's very humble. It yes, people often feel like even like they've met your future spouse for the first time, but people always could find a friend in them. Yes. I'm seeing a very powerful personality with the Ace of Wands, someone who enters wherever they go, they enter into that space with a bang, you know. I'm also seeing like physically your person is very strong. They're very tall, they could be a bit muscular, or like they like to work out every single day. They like to take care of themselves, like especially when it comes to fitness and, you know, their health. Yes, they like to invest into that. The Nine of Cups is also telling me, especially it's reminding me of the traditional tarot card where, you know, that person just sits and they have a smile on their face and they are enjoying what they've created. So I see like your person, the energy of your person is very lighthearted. It's very friendly. They're always laughing and smiling, and um, also they try to make other people laugh a lot, um, yes, they always have these jokes under their sleeves, or um, they have a great sense of humor. That is also something I'm seeing. And they like to be happy and keep others happy. Yes, they love smiling faces, and like you're always going to see a smile on their face too. Your future spouse is always like giggling or smiling or um, laughing, not in a creepy way, or not at a time when it's serious, but like usually the face is very smiley, like how some people are always grumpy and moody, and like you kind of get scared to talk to them. Your future spouse is not like that. This person is very, like, their energy is very inviting. People find a sense of comfort, in your person's company, and they can talk to them without feeling scared or intimidating. That is what I'm seeing. Yes, with the cups, it's like they always keep their heart very open. Yeah. Um, they're also very action oriented. Your future spouse, they're always doing something or else. Um, but at the same time, I see like this is someone who likes to take credit, who at least they themselves, they like to feel proud of things they have accomplished, not in an arrogant way, but in a self-aware kind of way, where they're not always like chasing the other goal, the other thing that they want to do. They like to take a break where they are enjoying what they already have, what they've already created. Although they're enjoying, or the way to celebrate their success is always very extravagant. Yes, it feels like your person, they they like to invest money or splurge money. Yes, that's the word. Splurge money for themselves. Like, yes, if they have done something that they are proud of, this person is going to do something special for themselves. Yes, they're going to buy themselves something favorite, something that is their favorite, or go for a trip, but it's always extravagant. And they feel like they deserve it. Um, yes, that's what I see here. Your person could be an air sign, or they're very imaginative. Yes, they have a very beautiful imagination. They have these unique ideas. They for some reason, this card with the rocket ship, I see like they could be a scientist, or in the field of science. That could be something. Or maybe they're just like interested, generally interested in astrology and stars and space, something like this. Yes, they're also a very curious kind, your future spouse, they're always interested in finding out new information. They like to expand their knowledge, they like to expand their consciousness. I'm also seeing like this is someone who loves to travel a lot. Yes, any chance they get, they're just going to go on a trip, even if it's just for a day, even if it's just like a walk somewhere in the forest or something like this. But yes, your person loves to explore new places. They love to expand their horizons. They love to learn about new cultures, new food. Yes, that is also something I see here. So at their very core, I'm seeing that your future spouse is someone who has a very big heart. They yes, they like to create that environment with where people can feel safe and comfortable. They Your future spouse could be an extrovert, or I'm seeing like this is someone who's very gregarious, who's very who likes to mingle, with people, and they can make anyone their friend. Like, this is that type of person. No one, they have almost no enemies. That is what I'm seeing. Like, despite all the fame and success they're going to have in their life, I don't see this person as someone who has a lot of haters. And with the Ace of Wands, I'm also seeing like your person, they have a lot of creative and new ideas. Yes, this is someone who likes to begin things, new things, they like to take forward new ideas, and they also love to experiment a lot. That is also something I'm seeing. They're always experimenting on something or else. Even when they're at home, they're trying to learn something new, or they're trying to like decode something. That is what I see here. Yes, your person has a lot of knowledge. They're very smart and intelligent and curious. That is what I'm seeing. Okay, so now let's see what is your future spouse's overall personality. What is their overall personality? What is your future spouse's overall personality? Okay. Five of Pentacles. Someone who's very resourceful. Maybe because in the past they have experienced this energy of lack and like feeling alone. But they're going to create a lot of financial abundance in their life. That is what I see here. Seven of Cups. Again, it's where I see this as someone who has a beautiful imagination, but at the same time, your future spouse is someone who knows how to bring those ideas into their reality. This is someone who's a daydreamer. Sometimes they may feel very confused about stuff. Like they want so many things. They want to do so many new things that it's just when it comes to actually taking the action, they start to feel a bit overwhelmed. Yes. We have Queen of Swords, okay? Very decisive, strict, very justice oriented. That is also something I see, like someone who plays the game very fair and square. They understand the rules, and yes, they're going to follow the rule book, and they expect the same from you. Yes, they value direct communication. Like this is someone who they don't like to overcomplicate things. Yes, they like to keep things simple, clear, and just straightforward. Yes. Something about time is coming up here. Like your future spouse is someone who values time a lot. They don't like to waste their energy, their time, their resources into unnecessary things. And other people who waste their time, that is also something they cannot bear. So yes, but a lot of their time gets wasted because of how they're always like overthinking and daydreaming. Although when it comes to making the decision and taking the final step, that's where your person is unstoppable, and they're so quick. um, yes, they do. I feel like they know how to balance both of these things, how to be more dreamy and imaginary, but at the same time how to be more practical and logical. Yes. So for their personality, I see someone who is very imaginative, someone who is very independent, decisive, discerning, very wise. Yes, the Queen of Swords, tells me that this person is very sagacious. They have a lot of insight into things, and they have so much of knowledge. And they're always like curious on learning something new, doing something new. Um, and with the Five of Pentacles, I see like this is someone who is very secure in themselves. Like in their past or in their childhood, they've experienced so much of lack and isolation that growing up, they've learned how to become more resourceful and more independent and more confident in themselves. So they've learned how to become secure and how to fulfill their own needs. Yes, with the Nine of Cups, again, I'm seeing like this is someone who in their childhood, maybe they've had to sacrifice a lot. They've never, like, those small wishes and dreams we have, and how our parents fulfill them for us. But I feel like in your person's case, maybe they've had no one to really take care of themselves or to fulfill their dreams. So after they've grown up and after they've made their fortune, they it's like they're fulfilling their childhood dreams. They're making their inner child happy. Yes, that is what I'm seeing. And also, anytime they see anyone else struggling or feeling like they have no one in the world, your person is going to become their support. Yes, that is what I see here. Okay, now let's see something about their physical appearance. The zodiac signs we have here is Scorpio, Virgo, Taurus. Water signs could be prominent. Let's see something about their physical appearance. Justice, very balanced, Their height could be medium to tall. Their body is like medium build, not too thin or lean or nor too chubby. Very balanced proportions. That is what I see here. The sun, again, the smiley face. That's what I see here. Someone who's always happy, joyful. Their energy is very light, very comforting. They're very optimistic, very hopeful. Something about their eyes is coming up here, very, like, their eyes are very sparkly, very bright, there is I don't know how to explain this, but it's like there's a sense of hope that you can see in this person's eyes, Yes. We have 10 of Swords, okay. They could have been through some mental breakdown, depression, anxiety. But despite that, this person doesn't let other people see what's going on inside them. I feel like they have learned how to hide their pains. And if they are someone who is always in the public image or into the spotlight, then yes, it's kind of obvious, Like, we don't know half of the things that are going behind the scenes of in the lives of these celebrities, these people whom we see on YouTube and Instagram. So yes, maybe on the surface, they make things seem very perfect and happy and okay, but behind the scenes it's like they're struggling with a lot of anxiety and depression, and they could have a lot of dark circles. I'm seeing like someone who is deprived of sleep. Yes, though on their face there is always a kind of smile. You're going to see a kind of joy, but in their eyes, if you notice, there's a sense of melancholy there, and yes, if you just notice it carefully, if you look into their eyes, then you are going to find that sense of sadness. Like, you're going to know that this person is going through something. Yes, it's their eyes are very expressive. That is what I'm seeing. Like, their eyes tell a story, everything they have experienced in their life, you can read it in their eyes. That is what I'm seeing. And they put up this mask of being happy and okay, but yes, they hide a lot of pain behind that smile. That is what I'm seeing. I'm also seeing that your person looks very younger than their age. Yes, this person is very mature, more mature than other people of their age are. And it's because, again, it's because of their experiences and everything that they've been through in their past. Their life journey has not been easy, you know. Perhaps by the time you're going to meet them, they've already accomplished all of the success and fame, but it has not been very easy for them to reach this peak of success, or at least, or they've not had a lot of support, you know. They've had to start things from the scratch. Yes, they were their only friend and support, and they've done it all by themselves. That is what I'm seeing. So yes, emotionally your future spouse is very mature, very understanding, very empathetic. So overall, for the physical appearance, I'm seeing like someone who is medium height, medium weight, you know. Even their facial features are very like proper and very proportionate, like perfectly proportionate. Yes, they could have a defined jawline or a defined nose. That is something I see. And here we see someone who has a smiley face, but then there is some sadness you can see in their eyes. Your person's overall aura is very radiant. That is also something I see with the sun card. Like their overall energy is very bright, very powerful, and very radiant. Yes, it's like this person is meant to be in the spotlight, you know? They could also, like when it comes to their clothing and everything, or the way they dress up, they love to wear formals a lot. Yes. They like to dress up, but they're not going to wear something casual. Um, Even when they're at their home, you know, they're very properly dressed. Yes. Yes, that's what I see here. So now let's see what else we have. Your person could suffer from some back pain, perhaps. Yeah. Let's see what else we have. What else we have? What else you need to know for your future spouse? Okay. The leader, power, grounding, stability, and authority. As a strategic thinker, planner, and leader, you possess the skills and confidence needed for success. Truly, you have what it takes. Yes, again, you know, we have this leader-like energy here. Someone who leads others, someone who inspires and influences other people. Yes, and your person has like all the qualities to be this successful leader, you know. Yes, they're chosen by the public. That is also something I see. They could be in politics as well. For some of you, that is also something I see with the justice and the leader card, like someone who is, they could be a public speaker, or yes, even if they are in politics, that their job is to make these speeches. That is what I'm seeing. But they're a great leader, you know. As I said, they have everything, all the quality to be successful, to be recognized, and their confidence level is very high, you know. And they've worked on it. They've worked really hard on harnessing this confidence and this inner power. Your person is a winner. That is also I'm seeing something I'm seeing here. Someone who always wins, you know. They could be like the first ranker of the class. Yes, the topper, the monitor, you know. That's the kind of energy I'm seeing. Let's see what else we have. What else you need to know about your future spouse? We have transformation. Okay. In pile number one, also there was a card like this, but it was the Wheel of Fortune, and for you, it's the transformation. Um, yes, I feel like in their life, they have been through many levels, many transitions, many phases, and they've seen it all. They've seen the worst of times and they have seen the best of times. So, yes, and at this point, or at least when you're going to meet them, your person, the external success or failure, that doesn't really matter to them. What matters is the experience and how everything is shaping them, what wisdom they're learning from all of their experiences. And yes, if they can do anything to impart that wisdom to others, they're creating that medium. That is what I see here. Yes. Let's see what else we have. What else? What's the final thing you need to know about your future spouse? We have confidence. Okay, assured, motivation, oneness, and positivity. Yes, I was seeing this energy before as well. Their confidence is like on the next level. The way this person carries themselves, the way they speak is it's simply impeccable. Yes, especially when they are like on the stage or when they're speaking, everybody just listens. The way they articulate their thoughts, the speeches they make, or whatever they say, it's very impactful. Yes, there's a sense of radiancy and confidence in this person's eye. And you can see it right from the first time you meet them. You can see like how confident and how secured they are in themselves. That's what makes them more beautiful and charming. Yes. Your person doesn't seek any validation from others. Again, they're going to work on themselves. They're going to work hard to become a better version of themselves, and they will improve whatever things that need to change and be improved in them. They will do the work, but they're not going to do it just to fit in or just to have that acceptance from others. Your person is very authentic, and it's their authenticity that makes them so unique and that makes them so unforgettable. That is what I'm seeing. So, this is what I have for you, my dear pile number two. I hope this reading resonated with you and provided you with some guidance or any answers that you were looking for. If it did, please do like this video and subscribe my channel. Once again, thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a magical rest of your day, and I will see you in my next reading. Bye. Hello, my dearest pile number three. Welcome to your reading. If you selected the Ace of Cups or if you've selected the Amethyst ring, then this is your reading about who is your future spouse. Ace of Cups. Wow. And look at this card. It's so beautiful. The message I'm receiving here is that your person is a giver. Yes, they have a big heart, and they, rather than just taking or consuming, their intention is to create something beautiful in this world. It's to give out something that people are going to remember. Their words, their actions, anything they do, it leaves an impact. Yes. I also see they could have blue eyes, or their eyes are going to be their most beautiful feature. Yes, that is what I'm seeing. They have a lot of love in their heart. Let's pull out some cards first, and then let's see who is your future spouse at the very core. Who is your future spouse? Spirit guides, please tell us something about pile number three's future spouse. Who is your future spouse? Three of Staffs, this is the Three of Wands. Explorer. They love to go on adventures. This person is very spontaneous. That is also something I see here. And we have the Six of Coins. Yes, definitely this person is a giver, you know. You see, like they have a very free hand when it comes to giving money, resources, or just anything, you know. They do not hesitate at all. That is what I'm seeing here. You see, if you notice, we have the sign of infinity and even the Ace of Cups, like they feel like whatever they have, you know, the source is God. And that is why it's unlimited, it's infinite. So they don't feel like if they're going to give out more love or if they're going to be more generous, then they're going to run out of something. They never feel that, you know. Yes, that is why. Even if people do not give thanks to them or like they don't appreciate it, you know, whatever they do, they your future spouse is someone they don't even expect. Like they don't do good so that people are always talking about them or giving them the credit. No, they just do it in a very quiet and silent way. One of their purposes in life is to do good for the humankind. That is what I'm seeing. Let's get out some more cards. They're here to help humankind. And also your future spouse is someone who's very free-spirited. Yes, not only just when it comes to giving, but in general also they're very free, you know. They don't like to be stuck in a lot of like attachments, you know. This is a free soul, and anytime someone tries to control them, someone tries to restrict them, they start to feel very suffocated. They cannot thrive in that kind of an environment. I feel like when it comes to their career or their life purpose, your future spouse, they do something of their own where they are their own boss, where they don't have a rigid timeline or a rigid way of doing things, you know. Yes, travel is coming up very strong. Three of Wands is an energy of exploring the new horizons. Sun with Neptune. I love this card. It always reminds me of the Starry Night. It could be an artist. Sun and Neptune tells me that your person is very dreamy. This person has a lot of big dreams in their life. Yes. They're also very spiritual. Let's get one more card. Your person could like build, you know, these hospitals or old age homes. They could open schools or institutions for underprivileged children, something like that. Yes, they are into philanthropy. But they'll do it, they'll do all of these things very in a very quiet way. Yes, not where, you know, they want to show off or something. We have Venus beloved. Wow. Yes, Venus is the energy of love. And that is what I was seeing with the Ace of Cups. This person really has a big, big heart. They have so much of love. This person cannot even think of hating someone, or they just don't have that in them, like feeling jealous of someone or envious of someone or hating someone. They just don't have those qualities, and this love they have in them, it's something very pure, very divine, you know I also see like your future spouse as someone who's God's favorite child. Yes, destiny somehow always works in their favor. And it's somewhere, it's a reward of their good karmas and of everything that they do. But this is someone that the universe will always support. No matter what happens, no matter what comes in their way, but they will always find their way. That is what I'm seeing. Your person is also a great manifester. Like with the Sun and Neptune energy, I'm seeing someone who dreams of these big things, and maybe because of the law of attraction, or maybe because they have so much of faith and trust in the divine, it all aligns for them. Things come together in the most perfect way, they attract the right opportunities, the right people. So yes, that is why I was saying like your person is God's favorite child, because everything just works out in their favor in the most magical way. In fact, your person has that essence of magic in them. With the Sun and Neptune, I do see this like energy of someone who believes in miracles, who believes in the divine grace, who, for them, nothing is really impossible. And they also believe in this energy of infinite, of infinity, like, and maybe that is why I was saying in the beginning, like your person is very free handed, very free spirited. They feel like the restrictions are in our mind, not external. So yes, in their mind, this person is someone who has everything sorted out, they they like to keep things very clear and very light. I also see that your future spouse is someone who doesn't take everything so seriously. They don't like to complicate things. They don't like to create unnecessary drama, unnecessary chaos. And yes, the more simplified things are in their mind, that's how the reality becomes for them. That is what I'm saying. Venus is an energy, as I said, it's about love, it's about beauty and luxury. I'm also seeing like your person is someone who has a beautiful soul. Yes, their soul is very pure, very untainted, It's like the lotus. I'm seeing the lotus flower. Despite being in the murky waters, the lotus never loses its purity. And that is what I see for your person as well. Yes. Not to say that your person is naive. No, they have seen the world and they're also very spiritually awakened. But yes, they don't have like this malice or over smartness in them, they are aware of people, they're aware of what's happening around them, but on their part they like to keep things clean and simple, and the rest they feel like their God is going to take care of things. Yes, it's like they feel like whatever they do, it's between them and their God, So yeah, they like to keep things clean. That is what I'm seeing. Your person also has a lot of high morals. They're very honest, well-mannered. They have a sense of propriety in them. They know how to behave and how to be a human. They know this. Yes. When someone is in need, your person is not like they're just going to walk away from them and be like, why would I care? Or it's not my job. No. This person tries to be human. And today, where everyone is becoming so greedy and such a beast, people have forgotten what kindness is, what love is. And they're always trying to get something from you. Despite being around such people, your person has not lost their humanity, and they believe in beautiful things, and they have the most beautiful soul. That is what I'm seeing here. Yes. Okay, now let's see what are your future spouse's personality traits. The Venusian energy also tells me like your person has a certain type of aesthetic. It's very magical, very whimsical. Yes, they like to make everything more beautiful. It's like whatever they touch, it automatically starts blooming. That is what I'm seeing. Let's see what are your person's personality traits. Something about their hands. There's a lot of magic and healing power in your future spouse's hands. Yes, they could have a Midas touch. Whatever they touch, it turns into gold, or they know how to convert things into money. They're very good in like generating money or abundance from anything. Even like maybe other people might feel like this particular idea or this thing has no potential, but somehow your person can make things work. Let's see what we have. Eight of Cups. Okay. I was saying like your person is someone who's very, they don't like to live their life in attachments. Like they are someone very free spirited, and that's what I see with the Eight of Cups. Like someone who tries to live their life in a very detached way. Yes, they're not so attached with everything, like with their career or in their relationships, that those things kind of start consuming them. No, their soul is free. Like they're not scared of things falling apart. They're not scared of something going wrong. Yes, they this is someone who is like, if it stays, then that is well and good. But if something goes wrong, if it falls apart, if it goes away, then that's okay too. Life goes on. So yes, they've learned the art of detachment. That is what I'm seeing. We have Page of Wands. This is very much like the Three of Wands energy. Someone who's an explorer. They love to travel a lot. They love to. I also see with the Page of Wands, this is someone who's very excited about life. Like this is someone who gets excited about the small things, about the big things. Yes, their purpose in life is to experience and to explore and to experiment. That is what I'm seeing. With the Page of Wands, your person also, they take a lot of risk in life. And again, this is a very spontaneous person. They don't plan out their entire life. Even when they are traveling, they might not even have their itinerary. They just go to these random places. They just live their life like one day at a time. Yes, this is someone who lives in the present moment. That is like one of the most beautiful things about them, and that is the main reason why they get to enjoy their life. They get to experience every moment. Yes, this person believes in being more present, being more mindful, and just enjoying the moment that is in front of you. That is what I'm seeing. And we have the Two of Wands. My goodness. I had Nomad. Yes, perhaps, I'm seeing like someone who has their minivan, and they're just traveling to these places. Perhaps they have some kind of a car, or those RVs, where they have like their food and their stuff in the back of the car, and they just keep traveling. they they love to like find these places somewhere in the forest or mount up in the mountains where they put up these tents. And yes, if they feel like this location is beautiful, then they might stay there for a day or two. Like, again, they're very random, they are very spontaneous, they just go with the flow. That's their mantra in life. This is someone who loves to listen to their heart. They feel like life is too short to play by the rules or to worry about what other people are going to think. They just do what their heart says. They love to be alone. I'm also seeing like this is someone who loves their solitude. They love, although they are kind of an extrovert, like they love socializing, but yes, at the same time, they want their space where they can be themselves. They can spend some time in stillness and quietude, and that's how they recharge. That is what I'm seeing. I feel like by the time you're going to meet your person, they have traveled to a lot of places. I feel like they would take you to those places once again. And with you it's going to be completely different. Yes, even though, yes, I'm seeing like this is someone who loves to be by themselves. Like, just look how the imagery here is so similar. But at the same time, they're finding someone special, someone that they can trust, someone they can, yes, go to these different places and just explore life. They're seeking their soulmate or their life partner. That is also something I see. Yes. Traveling is like their biggest passion in life. Yes, this is a repeating message that I'm seeing, so that's kind of important. But okay, so for their overall personality, I see someone who is very free spirited, someone who is an extrovert, but at the same time, they love their solitude. This person is very detached from the material things, especially like the money, the career, the goals. They're very detached from these things, and they just walk away if something is not fulfilling them, or if somewhere they don't find that sense of happiness. This person is going to just walk away without thinking. Yes, they don't commit to things very easily, but once they do, that's forever. Like with the six of coins, I'm seeing like either they're not going to commit or they're not going to make these promises. But if something is very important to them, if something is their priority, and if yes, some if they promise something, then that they're going to keep. That is something I see here. Since your future spouse, they travel a lot, they've seen the world, I feel like they have a very fresh perspective of looking at life. Yes, they see things from a higher perspective. Um, they understand things on a deeper level. They understand people on a deeper level. So I feel like with them, you will see the world with new eyes. Yes, they will open you towards this new perspective, towards a whole new world. That is something I see. Yes, you two are going to have the most amazing experiences in life. That is something I'm picking up. This person is also very humorous, very interesting, very, like, you can never get bored with this person. Their personality is very spicy. I heard the word spicy. Yes, I'm seeing like this person keeps adding different flavors to life, and they can make the most mundane moment exciting. That's like a superpower they have. But yes, again, this is someone who's very nonchalant. They don't stress over things too much. They don't worry too much about the future or about the past. They simply live in the present. That is the most important thing for them. And yes, that their purpose in life is to experience life. That is something I'm seeing. So let's see now something about their physical appearance. The zodiac signs we have here is Aries, Leo, Pisces. I'm picking up a very strong fire energy, so that could be prominent, especially Leo. I see like this, your future spouse is someone who's very confident, very bold and brave. They take a lot of risks in life, and yes, they're not scared of things. Let's see something about the physical appearance. I also see like this person is going to create a lot of abundance in their life. Yes, with the Six of Coins, Venus. And this is someone who naturally attracts abundance and prosperity and opportunities. They don't have to try too hard, they don't have to push things too hard. They just know what they deserve. They believe in the beautiful things, and things just happen for them in the most effortless sort of way. Ace of Swords. I, s- I see someone with a very clear skin. Yes, I don't know why I'm picking up this message with the Ace of Swords, but yes, someone who has very clear skin. And this is also someone who has a lot of internal clarity. Yes. We have Four of Wands, okay, and Seven of Pentacles. I'm seeing that your person is a very happy go lucky type of person. Like, this is someone who can refresh your mood, you know? Even if you have like just a 2 minutes conversation with them, it's going to leave you feeling happy, feeling peaceful. Yes, you're always going to see them smiling and um, just stress free, you know? Yes. Look wise, I see this is someone who is medium build. I'm seeing like medium to tall height, and but they're very strong. Like physically, I see this is someone who is very strong. Yes, also they're very healthy, you know. They love to take care of themselves, of their diet, of their food, of their sleep cycle. Yes, they do not take their health very lightly. I also see someone on a leaner side. They're also very charming, but it's not the very obvious kind of beauty or the surface level beauty. It's something that goes beyond that, beyond physical appearance, yes. And I was saying in the beginning, like this person's soul is very beautiful, their heart is very beautiful, and that beauty reflects on their face. You know, there's a kind of radiancy that you're going to find in this person's eyes, on their face, and their smile. Yes, they could have a very glowing skin, naturally glowing skin, and their way of dressing is very casual and effortless and comfy. That is also something I see. With these four pillars on the Four of Wands, I see this sense of balance in them. Something about their aesthetic is very like it's quite luxury type. They Their overall aesthetic is very vintage and classic. Yes, even if they're wearing like casual clothes, but it still seems very elegant. Yes. With Ace of Swords, I'm seeing someone with sharp features, with defined jawline, defined nose, and overall they have a very clean look, clean and effortless, if that makes sense. This person could appear more mature. That is also something I see with the Seven of Pentacles. Like age wise, you know, they they look very wise, mature, and someone who has lived life, you know, who has seen life and have experienced a lot of things. Yes. And with the Four of Wands, I see like this is someone whose energy is very warm, inviting, comforting. You can feel safe in their presence, even though you've met them for the first time. But you know, something about their overall aura or their energy is very inviting. It's safe, it's peaceful. That is what I see here. Okay, so now let's see what else we have. What else you need to know about your future spouse? This person is a dreamer, and they, with the Seven of Pentacles, I'm seeing like this is someone who builds those dreams, brick by brick. They bring those ideas and those visions to reality. Yes. Let's see what else we have. Okay. My goodness. I was just saying that your person is a dreamer, the daydreamer. I don't know what it is about this particular deck, but like this deck or any card that comes out of it, it always confirms a message that I've already mentioned. Yes. It says a connection, romantic, soulful, or serendipitous, is blossoming. This is heart energy mirrored. Pour into it, be vulnerable, you are seen, and it is beautiful. Oh, this is so beautiful. This is like the lover's card energy. Yes, I was saying like your person is seeking their life partner now. They are in a phase where they want someone special by their side, with whom they can see the world and they can explore new things. So, yes, they're finding their soulmate. I feel like in your soulmate journey, you're very close to finding each other. That is a message I'm receiving here. And this meeting is going to happen in a very serendipitous way. There is a sense of fate and destiny that I see things aligning in the most perfect way. And it's like your soul are going to recognize each other, This person believes in true love. They might be a hopeless romantic, but yes, they believe in true love, they believe in soulmates. They're seeking a connection where being authentic is the most important thing for them. Yes, being vulnerable, being silly, that's the kind of relationship they want. Wow. I feel like there's someone who create these scenarios in their mind. Like they could have an imaginary boyfriend or girlfriend with whom they have these conversations and all of that. This person is really sweet, That's the kind of energy I'm receiving here. Yes. Let's see what else we have. Freedom. Yes. I've been saying this right from the beginning that your person is a free soul, Freedom for them is the most important thing. Having their own individuality, having their own sense of liberty is something very, very important. And that's how they thrive. That's how they thrive in their workplace and in their relationships. Yes. And again, this person is someone who's very detached from all the material things, I also see like this person is not scared of death or of losing things. Yes. Okay, so this has been a repeating message. Now, let's see what's the final message we have. Who is your soulmate? Who is your soulmate? This person might love to read a lot of novels, love stories, and all of that. And they just believe in these things. And I feel like somewhere because they have so much faith in all of these things, these things just happen for them. Other people might call them very silly or stupid for having these unrealistic dreams, but for your person, they know that they're going to experience true love in life. They're going to experience magic in life, and it just happens for them. Yes. Okay, we have two cards. Let's take both of them. We have warrior, focus, assertiveness, rise, and action. Again, your future spouse is someone who is not afraid of things. They're not afraid to take stand. They're not afraid to fight when it is necessary. And on the surface, this person might seem to be very chilled out, but when the time comes and when it is necessary, they're going to take the stand for something that is right, for something that is the truth. Yes. And here we have harmony, balance, energy, breathe, and flow. I also see like your person is very intuitive, very spiritual, and they understand life on a much deeper level. With the yin and yang, this is someone who understands the dark side of life. And they know how to make it through those experiences too. It's not like life has always been easy for them. Things have always been just very straightforward. No, they've had their fair share of challenges and difficulties and bad times, but even in those times, your person have just taken one step at a time. And in fact, those were the times where they have learned to find joy in the little things, to focus on what is beautiful, what they are grateful for. And somewhere they have cultivated a sense of inner peace. And now that inner foundation is so strong that anything that happens on the outside, anything chaotic, anything challenging, nothing is able to shake their inner foundation. Yes, your person knows how to handle things with a sense of calm and peace. That is what I'm seeing. Even you see, both of these cards are so opposite of one another. One is talking about like warrior, fight, and the other one is about peace. Your future spouse is someone who knows how to balance both of these things. Yes, they're not going to unnecessarily fight or start yelling or just create drama. No, but when it is necessary, when someone is trying to take advantage of them or someone else, and that person is not in the position to take their stand, your person is going to stand by them. Yes, that is what I'm seeing. So, okay, this is all that we have. This is your reading, my dear Palamatri. I hope this resonated with you and provided you with some guidance or any answers that you were looking for. If it did, please do like this video and subscribe my channel. Once again, thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a magical rest of your day, and I will see you in my next reading. Bye.